All right, I just want to make a note that on the 60-minute chart for the NASDAQ micros, I did have this written down yesterday, that the fair value gap that I saw could break and become resistance. And this was the fair value gap, the candle weakness here, that it did bounce off of at first. That was yesterday. This was the later end. This is the beginning of the day, I noticed. And market opened up, and then that was all day yesterday. It had broken that area and become resistance, the inverse fair value gap. So that's very interesting to see that this stuff is really, pretty observable and scientific, really. So I'm going to keep watching this strategy, the ICT concepts with fair value gaps, and try to incorporate it into my trading. We have some down here, and price could come down to these areas. We have some pivots down here where it could come down and sweep and get lower and take the stops out, and we'll just keep an eye on all that. All right, we had 3 trades today on the micros, and here's what happened. We got the CPI report, and the price just basically dropped straight down. You can see that right here on the hourly chart, straight down after 8:30 report. The 15-minute chart shows you kind of what happened here. Straight down, and it had crossed through some important levels, and it didn't go much further than that, but I was trying to short it right here. Let's take a look at the first trade after I was trying to short it right here. Price had dropped way down, skyrocketed down, and then it started just trending down, and I was looking for a weakness in candle, the fair value gap right here, single candle. And when price came back up to that area, I shorted right on the tick almost, and I figured I'd keep my stop loss very, very tight. And I actually left my stop loss at the top of the fair value gap. And my target was 1-to-1, 2-to-1 down here. We hit over 1-to-1 on it. And then the opening bell takes place, and it really skyrocketed down. And that was, to me, a good trade. I mean, yes, it was late. In my opinion, it was kind of late after the big drop, but I was looking for a reasonable, intelligent entry that made sense. And this fair value gap gave me that entry, and I'm fortunate. Thank God it worked out. I brought my stop to break even as soon as it got down to 1-to-1. I wish I would have taken, a 2-to-1 on it, but I was just very glad to get that profit right there. Trade 2, what happened? Trying to short when price comes back into another weakness of candle, fair value gap, single candle. And just like here, when it came up into that area, shorten it, looking for the same thing to happen here. Put my stop above the box, above the fair value gap. This time I didn't wait until it ticked in. The candle was basically pushing halfway through. I said, okay, let me try it here. Stop is right above the box, and it stopped me out for a very small stop loss. All right, that was trade 2. I'm okay with giving that a shot. It didn't work out, but that's okay. Now the third one here, I noticed price was coming all the way. If we look at the 60-minute chart here, price had come all the way back up to this white line, which was used to be support right here, support, and now I figured it might be resistance. So there's another reason why I wanted to take that trade short. It broke the trend line, and it was starting to show some weakness. So I didn't get in until right down here after it had touched that area and broke the trend line, and I got out. I should have gotten out when it come to this fair value gap, because it bounced right off that area, and I would have done a lot better. But I'm still happy with this trade. Stop loss was right here. I brought it to break even when price had gone down, and when it finally went down far enough, I just took my profit. And we can always say we should have, would have, could have done something different, but we still need to make note, because I really didn't pay attention. I didn't even realize there was a fair value gap right there until after I closed. And I'm not sure if that would have made a difference, but it's something to record. It's something to pay attention to. It's something to realize and notice for next time, right? So those are the 3 trades. We're utilizing the ICT fair value gap concept a lot more in the channel here, and I think it's really a helpful weapon, as part of our trading arsenal and strategies. to incorporate that into some of the other strategies and setups. I like how it's working, and I want to keep practicing that, Lord willing. Peace.